We're here today on the Attorney General's suit for modification of support order and motion to confirm support arrearage.
Your Honor, first I will ask that the court take judicial notice of the prior order, the divorce decree from 2021.
Okay, I do have a copy of the divorce decree that was sent to me by the court coordinator since I don't have access to the Potter County files. And I will, is there any objection to me taking judicial notice of that document?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, I will take judicial notice of it.
Thank you, Judge. And I will call Mr. Graff.
Mr. Graff, if you would please, wherever you are, raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give in the cause before the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir. Mr. Blackburn, your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Graff, what is your full name, sir?
Frederick William Graff III.
And you're the father of the children in this case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. What are their names?
Abigail Marie Graff and Kendall Alexander Graff.
Okay. And both of them still live with their mother, is that correct?
No. Well, yeah.
Okay. Now, Abigail, she was born in 2006. Has she graduated from high school?
Yes.
And she's over 18, right?
Yes.
Kendall, she was born in 2008, so she's not quite 18 yet, correct?
Correct.
Do you know when she's supposed to graduate from high school?
She should next year.
In 2026?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How are the children currently covered for insurance?
They have major medical and dental and vision.
Is that through your employment?
Yes.
Okay. How much does that cost you to, well, I guess I'm only asking about Kendall going forward. How much does it cost to cover Kendall on that insurance?
The whole thing with me and all the kids is $165 a week.
So how many people does that cover total?
4.
Okay. So that covers you, Abigail, Kendall, and you have one other child?
Yes.
Okay. How old is the your other child?
He's 22.
Okay.
He's 23.
23.
Ma'am,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. You can't just break in like that.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Judge. All right. And so, Mr. Graff, does that insurance cover dental as well?
Yes.
Okay. And is that cost included in the $165 per week?
No, it's an extra $2 a week.
Okay. Do you know how much the insurance is just for you?
Just for me. No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't
That's
have. Wait, yeah, I do. I can figure it out real quick. Okay. So if it was just me, it would be $10 a week.
Okay. What do you do for work currently, sir?
I'm an automotive mechanic.
How much are you paid?
I get paid hourly.
What's your hourly rate?
$35 an hour.
Do you generally work full-time, 40 hours a week?
Yes, sir.
What did you do back in 2021 at the time of your divorce?
I worked at Bell Helicopter in Amarillo, Texas.
How much were you paid there?
It was $35 and some change an hour.
Did you have Well, okay, so were you hourly or were you salaried at Bell Helicopter?
Hourly.
Okay, what was your hourly rate there?
$35.17 or 25 cents. I don't really recall.
Okay, so you weren't making 90,000 at Bell Helicopter?
I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember.
Did you work a lot of overtime at Bell Helicopter?
Yes, sir.
How much overtime were you working back then?
Worked 6 to 7 days a week.
And so how many hours a week did you work?
Between 56 and 65. I don't.
Okay. And so would you agree then that that essentially equates to $85,000 to $90,000 per year? Is that what you told me earlier?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And from your perspective, you're making significantly less now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened to the Bell Helicopter job? What were you fired? Were you laid off? Did you quit? What happened?
I quit
Why?
to move to Lubbock.
Okay. What necessitated your move to Lubbock?
I needed a change for my personal well-being.
What do you mean by that?
I was in a really, really dark place and thought being around my brother lives in Lubbock and my mom was moving to Lubbock. And so I thought being closer to him would help me mentally and physically.
Okay. And we're only talking about Amarillo to Lubbock. That's less than 2 hours, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Was there what was preventing you from maintaining a close relationship with your family, only being 2 hours away from them?
I worked 6 or 7 days a week.
All right. And so you're asking the judge to lower your child support?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any reason you couldn't go back to Bell Helicopter?
The programs that I was working on are coming to an end and they're not hiring for those jobs right now.
Is there any similar position you could obtain in Lubbock or Amarillo or in the area?
Not without more certificates. There's not really aerospace manufacturing jobs in the areas.
How many more certificates would you need to acquire?
I'd have to get an airframe and power plant license, basically, and
How long would that take?
takes about 2 to 3 years.
Okay. And so what is your plan moving forward?
Moving forward, work. I mean,
Well, yes. I mean, do you plan to stay at this job? Do you plan to find a better job? What is your plan?
I'm currently looking. I apply to anything I feel like I'm qualified to do. Job market's not the greatest for a former aircraft mechanic turned automotive mechanic. This company I do work for has really good health and insurance, so I feel like it's a good provider for that. I mean, I just started here in January, so I'm learning the ropes. And
Okay. Would you agree that your pay has steadily declined from 2021 up until today?
it really wasn't an issue until I got fired from the job I moved to Lubbock for.
Okay, let me ask you about that. So you left Bell Helicopter making approximately $90,000 a year to move to Lubbock to do what?
I was a technical support specialist for a company, local company here. And my base salary was about $62,000 with bonuses and everything. It was came out to about 70, 75, somewhere in there.
Okay. And what were you fired for?
They never told me.
They just came up to you
told me
one day out of nowhere and said you're fired?
Yep.
Okay. Well, so you had no clue that was coming? I mean, did you have any
No clue.
history of tardiness or bad behavior or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay. And so you're making 70 to 75 there, and you make, well, I guess according to you, your hourly rate being $35 an hour, you make approximately 72,000 right now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other source of income other than your job?
No, sir.
All right. Do you want the judge to be able to take a look at your income information to be able to consider that?
I would love that.
All right. Your Honor, I'll offer into evidence Mr. Graff's income information. It includes some pay stubs and some tax documents for 2022, 2023, and 2024.
Mr. Wilkes, have you had an opportunity to review this?
I have, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any objection to these documents coming into evidence?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Graff, I know that you provided these documents, but I have to ask, do you have any objection to these documents coming into evidence?
No, ma'am.
All right. They will be admitted as State's Exhibit number 2. Well, number 1, I guess. You haven't offered the
Well, yeah, I think that's right, Your Honor. Yes.
State's Exhibit 1. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. And Mr. Graff, you do acknowledge that you owe some child support arrears, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to offer into evidence State's Exhibit 2, the pay record showing Mr. Graff's arrears to be approximately $20,000.
Okay. And the court coordinator forwarded, Ms. Bevins forwarded the pay record to me. Is this the one that you're offering? It looks like it was printed yesterday, 5/21/25.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is there any objection to the updated pay record coming into evidence?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Graff?
No.
All right. It will be admitted as State's Exhibit number 2.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Graff, is there anything else you want to say that you'd like the judge to hear?
No, not at this time.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Wilkes?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Graff, my name is Joel Wilkes. I'm going to be asking you a couple of questions. If at any time you misunderstand or have a hard time with the question I've asked, just ask me to clarify. Can you do that for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to look at a couple of things here real quick. First off, you agree with me that you have not filed your 2024 income taxes at this time?
Correct.
Is there a reason you have not done that?
I was in the middle of a divorce when taxes came due, and so I wanted to let that all settle out and just took an extension and I'll do it at another time.
Would you agree with me that once you get that tax return, once you get your taxes filled out, once you get all that paperwork done, that would give the court more information to make the court's decisions in this case on?
I don't think so. It wouldn't change what I'm making or what I made.
Well, but again, you would agree with me that it would show any income that you had from any sources, any 1099s, any W-2s, any of those things, and it would give the court more information. Wouldn't you agree with me on that?
No, because I've turned in all those documents to the court.
Okay. Well, I guess that's one of the places I'm a little bit confused, is because I've looked at the documents that you have, and like, for instance, you went to work for Midas, and that was in January of this year. Is that correct?
Correct.
And on your pay stubs, it says that you make commission, but you're saying that you're paid by the hour?
Yes.
And it's my understanding that Midas does have programs for people who sell for different products, different things, can't earn a commission. Is that accurate, or am I inaccurate on that?
I'm just a mechanic, sir. I'm not a salesman, so I don't make any commission.
So you're saying that you don't earn any commission, anything extra beyond your hourly. Is that what you're telling us?
Correct.
Okay, now in your pay stubs that you provided today, I believe the first one is from January 24th of this year. Does that sound correct to you?
Sounds good. Yeah.
And the last one is from March 28th of this year. Does that sound correct to you?
Yes.
And so as of March 28th, so from January 24th roughly to March 28th, you earned $12,425. Does that sound right?
Okay.
Is there a reason that you don't have any pay stubs from April or May?
So originally this was supposed to go to the judge a month ago, which would have been, and when I got the whatever it was called, like when I got served with papers, I needed to get the documents in as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So
well, I guess
that's the reason.
Now you sent those documents to Mr. Blackburn and me this morning. Is that right?
Right. I forwarded you the email that I sent.
Correct.
Yeah.
But you have gotten additional pay stubs in April and in May. You would agree with me on that?
Correct.
And so wouldn't you also agree then that supplementing those income records and showing what you also made for the rest of March, all of April, and so far in May would give the court more information to make accurate rulings? Wouldn't you agree with that?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Okay. And are those documents that you can manage, that you can get your hands on, or are those things that you can do?
I could probably get them, yeah.
Okay. That's all I have at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Graff, since you don't have an attorney representing you, do you have anything you want to add to or explain about your testimony?
No, not at this time.
All right, Mr. Blackburn?
I don't have any further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay, call your next witness.
I'll briefly call Ms. Graff, Your Honor.
Ms. Graff, if you would please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give in the cause before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, Mr. Blackburn?
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, what is your full name?
Tanya Lynette Graff.
And you're the mother of the children, correct?
Correct.
And Kendall still lives with you?
She does, yes.
And is she supposed to graduate in 2026?
Yes.
Okay. Is she on track for that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other insurance that Kendall could be put on?
I do not.
Okay. And ma'am, I'm assuming you're not in agreement with Mr. Graff's child support being lowered?
Correct.
Can you tell the court why you don't agree with that?
I feel like I I feel like he makes close enough to the same amount that he did before that he should be able to pay the amount that was originally directed for him to pay.
From your knowledge, did he used to work a lot of overtime at Bell Helicopter?
Not as much as he's saying he did.
To your knowledge, was he salaried or hourly?
He was hourly.
Okay. Do you know what his hourly rate was?
I believe it was probably about what he said, about between $30 and $35 an hour.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to add, ma'am?
No.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Wilkes.
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Graff, if you had an attorney representing you today, now would be the time for your attorney to ask Ms. Graff questions on cross-examination. Since you don't have an attorney, you may ask her questions, but you do have to follow the same rules a lawyer would have to follow. Okay, sir? Do you have any questions today for Ms. Graff?
No, ma'am.
All right. All right, Mr. Blackburn, call your next witness.
No further witnesses, Your Honor. Rest.
All right. All right, Mr. Wilkes.
Rest, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Graff, Mr. Blackburn, and Mr. Wilkes have rested. That means they don't have any more evidence or witnesses to present. Do you have any evidence or witnesses you want to present, or do you want to call yourself and testify additionally?
No, ma'am.
Sir, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. No, ma'am.
Okay. All right then. Would Mr. Blackburn, Mr. Wilkes, Mr. Graff, would you like a brief closing?
Just briefly, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Your Honor, I think that there's sufficient information to make a determination what Mr. Graff's current income is. I think the real question in this case is if you're going to find if Mr. Graff is intentionally underemployed. But at any rate, Your Honor, I do request that we make appropriate orders for child support going forward, and I request that, well, it sounds like Mr. Graff carries the insurance. I'll ask that you order him to continue to carry the insurance for the minor child and ask for a confirmation of the arrears and an appropriate payment plan on that, Your Honor. That's all I have.
All right, Mr. Wilkes.
Briefly, Your Honor. Your Honor, we would ask first off that for the arrears to be confirmed, we'd ask for the current orders to be maintained. We think that Mr. Graff shows voluntary underemployment. He specifically gave up the job that he had in Amarillo at the time, moved to Lubbock for no really justifiable reason. It shouldn't affect the children. It shouldn't affect his child support. Also, Your Honor, in the alternative, I have questions as far as the information available to the court. If the court is looking at making a downward modification of the child support, I would ask that this hearing be continued until additional documents, current documents, can be supplied, namely last year's tax returns and current pay stubs, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Mr. Graff, do you wish to make a closing statement, sir?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
No, thank you.
All right. Give me just a moment to make some calculations, and I will be back with a ruling, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you all for your presentations of the case. My ruling is as follows. I will find that since rendition of the 2021 divorce decree, there has been a substantial change in circumstances that has been more than 3 years, and that child support would differ by more than 20% or $100. And therefore, I will find that a modification is appropriate. I do not find that Mr. Graff is voluntarily underemployed under the law. Therefore, I will set child support based on his current income, which best I can tell, based on his testimony and the documents provided, it comes out to about $72,800 a year, or $6,066.66 per month. Child support will be based on that amount. He will be given credit for the cost of insuring the child, which I calculated for everything included, medical, dental, and vision, in the amount of $224 a month. I will order him to continue doing that through his employer. giving him credit for that and for all mandatory federal deductions. The net income comes to $4,742.73, applying the 20% guideline amount under the Texas Family Code will yield a child support obligation in the amount of $949 per month. And that will be the order of the court. That will begin on June 1st of 2025. I will enter a judgment against Mr. Graff for past due child support in the amount of $20,074.87 as of April 30th of 2025. I'll order him to pay an additional $250 a month to help discharge that amount once his current support obligation ends, which will be relatively soon, given that the child will likely graduate from high school based on the testimony 1 year from today. That $250 and the $949 will be combined for a continued payment on arrears until that $20,074.87 is completely discharged. I will tax all court costs for today's hearing against Mr. Graff as billed by the Potter County District Clerk's Office. I think that covers everything. Mr. Blackburn, have I left anything out?
I think you covered it all, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. And Mr. Blackburn, will you be drafting the order, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd be happy to. Would this be for attorney signature only?
Mr. Wilkes, would you like to review and sign the order?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay. Can he email that to you so that can be done electronically?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
All right. That will be the ruling of the court. I will give a quick admonishment. Every party to a hearing before the associate judge is entitled to a new or de novo hearing in front of the referring court. The new or de novo hearing must be requested in writing. The request must be filed within 3 days of the notice of the substance of my ruling and served on the other parties to this action. It must specify what issues will be heard by the referring court. The referring court will set a hearing within 30 days of the request for the de novo, but the requesting party must obtain a setting from the court. If one party asks for a de novo, any other party may also ask for one within 3 days of the initial request. No one asks for a de novo, my order becomes an order of the referring court by operation of law without need for further ratification 3 days from today's date. Thank you all for being here. Good luck to all of you and to the child before the court today. This concludes our hearing and you are dismissed. Thank you again for being present and working toward resolution.